Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Just an Army channel. If new, please like, subscribe, and share content that helps the channel grow greatly. Today, we're going to be talking about Suicide Squad. Is it better than the original or not? My opinion, my thoughts, and more. There will be spoilers, some, not a lot, and stuff. You know me, I don't do spoilers a lot. So, here we go. In all honesty, I am not sure what I expected from this movie. While there has been some doubt about it, overall I felt the movie was more of a standalone from the first one. In many ways, I felt it was a reboot of the first. Now, with that, others are reporting that it was and is a box office disaster. That is understanding due to the situation we find ourselves in, and fear-mongering to keeping people from going out or to the movie theaters. I didn't go to the theaters in part to see it because I have HBO Max. Why spend money on something I'm already paying for? Granted, I would have loved to go out and see it on the movie screen. However, I just didn't have time. Yes, I know, an excuse, right? But you hear me on this, right? Early on, I was turned off by that of James Gunn's directing and writing it, but what he did with the Guardians I loved and out of the MCU. I love the Guardians far more. It is a side story that at times plays in the larger sandbox of the MCU, but in many ways it is a standalone, and I didn't get that feel that so many others seem to get. I saw some themes from Guardians, but it was not Guardian centric, you know? So, and maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that. So, jumping into this, you've been warned. I will talk about some spoilers, but nothing heavy, as that is not my style, as you're aware, and my own take and thoughts. I will say that first off, that I love the cast and those within the Suicide Squad, and this basic idea of basically what sets off the movie is these two suicide separate teams are given to directional tasks in order for one team to make the objective, and the kill count is just, oh my God, I mean, it's just, oh, it's crazy. The blood and gore was unexpected, but was awesome, which was, you know, lacking from the first one. One thing I mentioned before is that this really felt like a Suicide Squad movie versus the first one. And granted, you all know I'm a normie. I don't have anything really to measure it from, really. You know what I'm saying? I was rather disappointed with the first one and all that. This one felt more Suicide Squadish. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to really explain that, but you know. But I felt it was very standalone. You don't need to watch the first one to watch this one. You could watch this one and not really even care about watching the first one, you know, and all that. Um, the movie has a lot of really good moments, good cheesy, weird humor at times, which it felt as if it flowed well for the movie, and I appreciated it. It was downright funny, stupid fun. The violence is rather crazy at times, interesting nonetheless as well. Hell, I even forgot it was R-rated to be honest. Duh. I mentioned that the ensemble of the cast is what made it. And well, I was taken back by the amount of people that got killed off in the first 15 minutes of the movie. I was like, oh my God, it was crazy. I was like, no. However, the core of the group going forward was really well done. Of course, Margot Robbie, Joel Kidman, John Cena, Idris Elba, to David Dashiman, and Viola Davis, and Stallone, and many others. Not to leave out the others, but these are the core characters going forward, well, actors, which I want to focus on, of course. And I have to point out that many are getting into this idea of accuracy, and there's been, you know, some people that have been kind of, saying how cheesy a lot of the outfits were and stuff like that. But from all indications, they did adhere. They are using their comic book accuracy in outfits and stuff. Um, Some people are saying there was too much violence, and the R rating seemed to have hurt it a little bit. It could have played into the smaller box office than normal box office, but we're also still dealing with some ideas of what is going on in terms of this fear-mongering situation is a major factor. But as a normie, I am getting burned out of these superhero movies, to be honest. Hell, it could even be that I'm just getting older. I don't know. It could be anything really. I want to see Hollywood get back to basics of movies, telling stories, stupid action flicks, for example, but simply smaller budgets. I will say what James Gunn, in the short period of time that he had to tell his story, he truly wrote it that you felt for the characters. You knew the characters pretty quick, making you realize just how much you love these characters, even if they were only on the screen for a few minutes. And I appreciate that. And I didn't think about it until I wrote this review, to be honest. So, in some other mentions, I felt was interesting, such as the Weasel to King Shark, which I found King Shark to be done so damn well in CGI. I am so amazed by it. Played, of course, played by the great Sylvester Stallone, of course. But King Shark kind of reminded me of the Flash TV show King Shark, but didn't speak on the Flash. But it could be the $200 million budget that went into it. I do wonder how, if James Bond was given a smaller budget, if he could have pulled off what he did. Anyone else think he could? Because he comes from smaller budgets, of course, before Guardians too as well. I think somebody said the Guardians was much smaller budget too as well. So he comes from smaller movie making and all that stuff. So the movie overall really keeps you moving forward. No real downtime, to be honest, other than the segment for Harley Quinn. But overall, it didn't really take you out of the movie per se. I didn't feel like it had its purpose. Many other reviews have stated it was pointless, but I felt it needed to give Harley that backstory and situation which we never got. We kind of got this in which we see how damaged she is. We all know she is damaged, but this really showed an insight into who and what and why she really is, which we never got from Birds of Prey or the last Suicide Squad. In all honesty, I thought this Harley Quinn was far better in terms of the portrayal of the past we have gotten, and I just love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. So, in closing, I'd like to have to say that I think that James Gunn crafted it very well, arguably the most fine-tuned movie in his career in this Suicide Squad movie. Exception to the Guardians, of course, but I think he did what he did with Suicide Squad. It is the tightest storytelling that we have seen. Some have even stated it is some of the best work that has come out of DC in some time, next to other standalone movies such as Joker, for example. But there are others out there that will disagree, and I appreciate that about our Discord. I thought it was good, and I think it would have done better than it did if we were not stuck in the situation we are. So, what do you all think about it? Have you seen it? Do you like it? Hated it? Did you care for it? Let me know what you think down below. Take care, everybody. Bye.